Hi, I'm Paul McGee. I'm author of the book S.U.M.O, Shut Up, Move On, which I appreciate to some people may sound a tad aggressive, but let me ask you a couple of questions to kick things off and explain it in a bit more detail. Do you drive a car? Did you get yourself dressed this morning? And if you've answered yes to either or both of those questions, you might relate to the following fact. Psychologists reckon that on a day-to-day basis, around about 80 to 85% of what we're doing on automatic pilot. In other words, we're doing it without consciously thinking about what we're doing. Have you ever had this experience? You're not milking a cow in Wales, but you're driving the car and you've been on the motorway for quite some time, and then all of a sudden it's like you wake up and think, what happened to the last 30 miles? Why am I in the back seat? Whose car is this anyway? Because we're doing it on automatic pilot. And when we're getting dressed in the morning, most of us aren't thinking, what should I put on first, my left or my right shoe? We're just doing it without really thinking. So what's S.U.M.O about? S.U.M.O is saying this: shut up. In other words, take some time out. Stop, think and reflect. You've only got one go at this life. It's important. And maybe you just need to sometimes get off the doing stuff on autopilot and think, what do we want to get out of life? What's hindering us? What's helping us? So we want to take some time out, shut up, but then we want to think about, okay, how can we move on? And what I seek to do in the book is I look at 6 S.U.M.O principles, trying to make them really practical, and I share a lot of stuff from my own personal experience. The first one is called Change Your T-shirt. Remember the song by Frankie Goes to Hollywood, where they had these big T-shirts and it said, Frankie says relax? Well, this is about people who wear a T-shirt that doesn't say that. This is taken from our canary range. And my first S.U.M.O principle looks at this whole thing to do with the fact that sometimes in life people go around wearing a victim T-shirt. What am I trying to say? If we want to achieve more in life, we want to be more successful and more fulfilled, we need to change our T-shirt. That's one of my S.U.M.O principles. Another one is called develop fruity thinking. Lots of people tell you to be positive, but in developing fruity thinking, we look at 4 types of faulty thinking, including something called the inner critic. Highlights your weaknesses, undermines your confidence. What am I trying to do in fruity thinking? Learn how to shut up some of that faulty thinking and move on to develop fruity thinking. And I've got some real practical tips on how to do it. 6 S.U.M.O principles, that's just the first 2. Very practical book, shared from my own personal perspective. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much.